Who can take your trash out? Stop it down for you. Shake the plastic bag and do the twisty thingy too. The garbage man.
Oh, the garbage man can.
Alright, what's up guys? NinjaDeathStrike here, bringing you another Pokemon TCGO match. As you may have guessed from that extended intro, the deck I'm going to be using today is Garbodor and Friends. Apparently Garbodor was actually broken. It didn't work, but it seemed like it worked in this match. This was a while ago. I'm a little bit fuzzy on the details of the match, so hopefully there aren't any really long pauses in the game, but as you can see, I'm going to mulligan a lot. 3 times. I've noticed on TCGO, like, if you mulligan once, it seems like you're more likely to mulligan again repeatedly. Maybe that's just me, though, but it definitely seems like I always mulligan at least twice if I mulligan. So then I get to start with this hand, which I've got no energy in. So that's cool, and I lose the opening coin toss, so that's good. And it looks like my opponent is going to be playing an Empoleon deck. So this is actually the first time I'd ever played against this deck, and also the first time I had actually seen this Stunfisk. I'd heard people talk about it, but I'd never actually looked at it to see what it does, and it's pretty good. 20 and 20 to the bench for 1, so that's really good. And then he benches a Gibble, which seems strange. Playing Garchomp without Altaria and playing 2 stage 2 lines in the same deck just seems weird. So I do go ahead and Sharon. I get no energy, and that's bad. So I just catcher out the Gibble to stall. I have 2 catchers. You know, you really don't want to burn them early game anymore, but I've got nothing going on with this hand. So I also Sharon into a Juniper, which means I would have to throw away all the resources in my deck, and my opponent has a turn 2 Garchomp. So yeah, this looks like it is not going to be a pleasant match. He's going to Pecom, put another Garchomp back in the deck, and I believe grab a Prinplup. Yep. So there's an imminent threat of Empoleon coming down. Luckily for me, theoretically, Garbodor does just take a dump all over Empoleon. No diving draw, and most Empoleon lists don't run a whole lot of supporters, so it can really be a nuisance. Thank God I get end there into a much better hand. I don't have a turn 2 Garbodor anymore, but I do have some stuff now. I at least have a freaking energy to attach. So I think about what I want to do here. Do I want to N, or do I want to go for the Juniper? I opt to go for the Juniper, dig deep, try and get my Garbodor up before he can get his Empoleon, and I do. I hit it off with the Juniper. That is going to shut down diving draw, and that's going to be a huge deal for me. I also bench the other Trubbish, just because Garbodor tends to be killed. People don't like not being able to use the Poke Power, so you always want to try and have another one ready to go if you can get one out. I don't bench anything else, though. I'm a little wary of catcher. Again, I don't have any energy in my hand. So apparently it's one of those matches. And yeah, I don't want something to get catchered up and then have to just start all over again. This Garchomp that I have out, though, is in pretty rough shape. He might only get a Tromp off before he dies, and that would be bad. So I get end, I get another hand with no energy. So this is the 3rd or 4th one, I think, that I've supported for no energy. And I'm going to get hit with Dragon Blade. So yeah, Garchomp's going down next turn. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. I do get a second Garbodor up, though, and that's good. It means that you know, the lock is pretty well established now. I think about benching this Terrakion and then putting the fighting energy on it so that I could possibly retaliate for 90 next turn instead of tromping for 20. It looks like that's what I'm going to do. I basically just abandon the active Groudon because I didn't get to do anything with it. I couldn't hit any energy, and my opponent got off to a blindingly fast start, especially for a deck that runs 2 stage 2s. He has slowed down a little bit now. You'll see he didn't get the Empoleon last turn. He doesn't have another Gabite, so it's really just this Garchomp that is going to be causing me problems because he just got it up so fast and it's doing damage before I was ready. But that's alright. So he goes for Random Receiver here. He hit something. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't see what it was. I assume we'll find out in a second here. I don't think he played a... maybe he did play an N last turn. I don't remember. But, yeah. Down goes Groudon. Wow, lots of G's in this game. Down goes Groudon, killed by Garchomp, and then the energy gets moved to Garbodor. It doesn't actually help him, but I just needed a tool attached so that I could shut down Poke Powers. So I'm going to Ultra Ball here, get rid of my Sharon and my third Garbodor, and get a Registeel, and then I'm going to play the N. Since he just took 2 prizes, I do hit some energy now, which is fantastic. I get a catcher. I hope I don't play that. Good. The threat is definitely the Garchomp. It's the only thing he's got with energy that can attack. The Rocky Helmet is kind of wasted on Terrakion. It's not going to make this Garchomp any easier to kill. It's still going to take 2 hits. But I guess it's better than having nothing. Normally with the deck you want to put the Rocky Helmets on Garbodor and then the experience shares and the Violites on your other guys, but sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. And now the Empoleon comes down, but as I said, his ability should be shut off, and I don't think my opponent uses Diving Draw, so I'm under the assumption the power was working, though maybe it wasn't. So he just attaches an energy there. Keep your eyes out, see if he goes for Diving Draw at any point. I was watching for it too because I wasn't sure if it was working and I didn't catch it. But he does have Empoleon now. Empoleon's not going to be as big a deal as that Garchomp is. But then Bianca's for 6. So he is just running hot. And I am not. And he hits Max Potion. Yeah, he's got pretty much everything he could ask for going right now. Even for this rather peculiar bastard of a Garchomp and Empoleon deck, but it's working for him. So now I'm in a bit of a pickle. I need to attach if I want to do 90 damage, but then all my energy is going to get taken out. So I do hit an N here. That'll be good. Maybe I can get an experience share for Registeel. Haven't seen any of my DCEs yet. I do play 4 in the deck, so that'd be nice. If I could get one of those. Seems like I've gone through a lot of cards without seeing one. Haven't really needed one up to this point, though, because Registeel is the main abuser of the DCE. The early... ideally what this deck wants to do is Registeel early, spread the damage, and then sweep up with Groudon, but obviously that is just not happening this match. So what do I want to do? I decide to catcher out the Garchomp. I don't know why. I do hit the experience share. That's key. It's gonna let me get a energy when I die, which will make charging up Registeel a lot easier. And I guess playing the catcher was okay because it's going to make it harder for him to knock out Terrakion this turn. Still, I think it was kind of a waste. I could have just hit Empoleon and called it a day. I think Empoleon's got 140 hit points, so Rocky Helmet wouldn't have taken him out. But yeah. So he's going to level wall here and probably get a Gabite. Nope, a Piplup. Okay, he's going to get a Piplup. Guess he's going for the Empoleon. He benches his own Groudon EX, which is a play I don't really care for. I don't think he needed it in this match. It's not going to be that helpful. And it's big and fat, and it takes a lot of energy to attack. I actually don't like it in this deck at all. His deck. His deck's designed around big, cheap attackers, and that is not Groudon. So I don't know why he has it in there other than he just had it and he put it in there. You never know with the inability to trade. You know, some people just have to make the best with what they have deck-wise. So down goes Terrakion. I put another energy on poor Garbodor. And I need to hit a DCE. So I think the best play here is probably going to be a Juniper. I actually just throw away all those balls. I don't want anything from them. And I just don't, I don't want to put things in my hand or bench unnecessary things. But I don't hit my DCE, and I'm in disbelief. I'd check my discard pile at this point to make sure I didn't throw any away. I didn't. Pretty sure I check how many cards are left in my deck, but my deck's pretty thin, and the fact I haven't seen a single one is really odd and a little bit frustrating. So I actually tell him here in this chat. So I think it's quite possible all of my DCEs are prized because I hadn't seen one the whole game. And yeah, I can't do anything. I just have to sit here and take a hit, which isn't that good. So this is also before they fixed, or maybe it's right after they fixed the chat. Before they fixed the chat, if you wrote more than one line, it didn't go anything. But he tries to respond, but filtering things. That's what it does. And I'm still talking to him. Probably could have cut that out. Sorry. So I'm going to switch here. Who am I going to switch into? Okay. Switch into Garbodor. Just because it has a Rocky Helmet on it, and I have another one. And, if it dies, whatever. At least Registeel isn't taking damage, because I'm so far behind. I haven't taken a single prize. I barely even have any damage on the field. The deck is running like poop. Can't get anything, and I don't have a supporter anymore either. I do have a random receiver though, so never mind. At least I've been able to hit supporters pretty consistently, so that's probably been my only saving grace. It's let me get cards that I needed to stall, but yeah, things are not going well. So he gets a Gabite, which is fine. It's not nearly as powerful in this deck as it would be in a straight Garchomp Altaria deck. The only thing he's really going to be able to Dragon Call for is another Garchomp, which, is annoying, but it's manageable. And so then he switches into Empoleon, and what is he going to do now? It's possible he plays a Pokemon Center down. He puts an energy on to Gabite. I can't remember. He ends for 3, which is an odd choice, I think. I guess he only had 3 cards, so there's really not that much trouble. But hey, look at that! 2 DCEs. So there we go. We're in business. If I can get Garbodor out of the active spot. Or if he just gets killed, that works too. And he does. He's dead now. So we don't have to worry about him. I can send up Registeel finally to actually attack something, which is nice. And I hit a catcher too, which is going to be key card here. I'm able to catcher up that big fat Groudon, and I can just start triple lasering all the things in their faces while I keep Groudon stuck in the active spot. So I'm sorry, I got lost. Wow, this narration. Yeah, he can't do anything. He's stuck. He doesn't have a switch, and I have another catcher. So if he does get it out of the active spot, I'm just going to drag it right back up. So I spread, hit the Piplup because there's a chance to kill that next turn, take out that heavily damaged Garchomp before he can max potion it, and I believe just hit Empoleon. That way I can take it out later. with a stronger attacker if I need to. So I'm checking my discard pile here to see what I have. I'm actually checking to see how many energies I have left, because I know I don't actually have that many. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to attack with Groudon, which is kind of what I need to do. So yeah, I just want to see if I can have any chance of getting this Groudon into play, because he'd be a really good sweeper. But I can't do that yet. I don't have any energy. I don't want to bench him prematurely, because that's why my opponent is in so much trouble right now. And so I just go right for the triple laser, take out the Piplup, hit the Gabite, and continue to put damage onto the Empoleon. I could probably, well, I don't know, because I don't have the Groudon ready to go. If I had the Groudon, I could just stop attacking Empoleon at this point, start going for the weaker stuff, but I don't have that. So I'm going to Ultra Ball here, see what's left in my deck. Nothing. No fighting energy, so Groudon is not going to be seeing any play. It's going to be all up to Registeel, and I've got a lot of prizes to take before I deck out. So I can put Empoleon at 110, and then also threaten Gabite and Piplup if he doesn't evolve them next turn. So there's actually potential for me to take 3 prizes next turn and take a huge swing, go from being down 4-0 to up and only having 1 prize left. That would be fantastic. So he doesn't have a switch or anything, and at this point I think he just concedes. I'm getting the little blue ring on Windows. That means TCG is thinking, yep. So he just gives up. I think he gave up kind of prematurely. He still had a decent chance to win. There were a lot of cards he could have drawn, or I could have decked myself out, but he just gave up because I was going to kill all of his attackers. So that's going to be the match. Good lesson about not benching Groudon EX when you can't use him. And I hope you guys liked it. So give me a thumbs up if you did. As always, I'll have more videos coming your way shortly. And if you haven't liked my Facebook page, check that out. I'll put a link at the bottom. You can use that to talk to me more regularly. I check it quite often. So if you post on there, chances are you'll get a response. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.